Sorry, I forgot to press record.
I think they were tremendous today, weren't they?
So,
But it was only sort of introducing the people.
Many of the people on it, did you?
No, I didn't. Well, eight of them were that's a one.
The clashed with the Welsh rugby, so I couldn't watch straight until
Oh,
the rugby
no.
finished.
Not
oh, how was the rugby?
Well, they could have done better. They did win.
Oh, Wales won.
Yes, yes.
And who were they playing?
Portugal.
Oh, good. So
But
that's something
neither
good.
of them were very good. I wasn't cheering a lot.
I
I was.
know
again,
someone that
but-
was trying to educate me. The guy that was running the dodgy guest house that I stayed at, he was a real rugby fanatic, and he'd spend hours talking about rugby with his friend Tony that was sitting there doing their laundry. He'd help people with laundry. And when he wasn't helping people with laundry, they were talking about rugby.
Yes, right.
And then occasionally politics, and then back to rugby again.
Oh,
Very
yes.
interesting.
Well, rugby's much more
And
important, isn't it?
I think so. But apparently they seem to think the best team was the French team.
Is it
Oh,
15
I think so, I don't know.
or 13? Yeah.
15, I think.
It's 15,
I
is it?
think so.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about rugby, we're doing this. So, no, he reckoned that the French team's got the best players. Would you know about?
Well, French, I watched the All Blacks in France,
Yeah.
and the All Blacks always win from New Zealand, and they're terrific. They lost to France. And I was, they always win.
No,
You
he
can't
was.
beat them.
He was very complimentary. Both of them were in agreement with how good the French team was.
Yes, they are very good this year.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, there we go then. So watch out for French rugby people.
And the Welsh.
And the Welsh.
And the Welsh.
I'll keep an eye out for that.
I watched the Welsh, I watched the Irish, I watched the Scots, and I watched the English.
I watched the English last night, and they
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
very good either.
No, that's what he said.
They weren't
There you
very good
go.
at all.
I always thought
It was a real muddle.
you never knew who to support because he was half Welsh. So when England was on, that was all right. But when England and Wales played, and he was Wales.
Oh, that is
Follow
tricky.
the- Yeah, he was.
That's very tricky if you've got, yeah. So, keep breathing. So we're looking at balance. Well, we'll do backs and necks and balance today. So what I've been doing at home and I've been practicing is I try and do 300 of these.
How many?
300.
300.
300. Yeah, it's quite nice. And then we just, well, because what I've noticed, the more I do the exercise, it just seems to work better if you do it for a long amount of time. Because my
Yeah.
teacher
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying you're supposed to do it for about 20 minutes, and I think that's probably a lot. I think 300 is about 15, we'll do about 15 minutes. Okay, so we just... So the Haddon Arts Centre's hopefully having me back there doing the well-being events, so sort of Tai Chi and music. We did something for the winter where me and my friends played lovely music. Well, it was my friend Nick, but he's going to be busy flogging his book. So my friend Tony, who also plays the harp, he's going to come. I do love the harp. I think it's wonderful. So what we're doing is just focus on your spine lengthening. So the muscles either side of the spine, just imagine they're being massaged. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I went and got a, oh yeah, that's a good thing. And was I going to bring my sword with?
Yeah.
It's in my car. What I'll do, when we have tea break, I knew I was missing something. When we have tea break, I'll put Boff on and then go to my car and get the sword so you can see. there's this waltz that they played that I really like, and they were waltzing all round the Haddon. It was the Arkansas Centre in Haddon. It's this really lovely, it's got a lovely stage and very good acoustics, and the whole, there was about 3 couples waltzing all round the whole hall while they were playing. Oh, it was very romantic, yes, very romantic waltzing, yeah, they were. So I really missed that. So next year when they do it again, I'll make sure I give out these, because actually it's not far from here, is it? From maybe like half an hour or something. So we're just doing that, and then we're going to shake. So again, just allow your muscles to let go and release, and there's getting this sinking. So although it's something that you can do automatically, because of your natural lifetime standing and moving habits, it can be harder than you think to really let the hips go into sync. So we'll just breathe. We'll just whiz through the loosening, back to bounce, and then we'll just do this one. So just get the arms to soften. That's it. So let the arms drop all the way down. So let the arms fall all the way down before they come up, and it will feel different. Yeah, I've been looking at this, thinking what's actually happening. You know, what's going on. Now let's turn the palms so that they're up. So you get this. You make a W shape, a W shape. So I'm really looking forward to Overstrand. It's just such beautiful, and the sea is so lovely. That neck of the woods, it really is beautiful. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll just do this one. So one in front, one behind, and really floppify and relax the arms. Very relaxed. Keep breathing some more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. So yeah, just to sort of keep you informed, the Burwell Sports Centre told you at 5 PM is happening. It's more based on the rehab stuff I've done with Mark. There's a little bit more active than this. This one is a bit more on the relaxing end of soften. But, you know, if you fancy having a dose of Tai Chi either end of the day, you're very welcome to come and give it a go. But you're also very welcome to relax. It's fine, it's not compulsory. And I do like this, because there's less of us, we can customise it as well, which, you know. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then just check the posture. So allow that to sink, and then we're turning. And we're breathing. Very good. So I'm trying to practice my sword 4 or 5 times a week now. Just because I had so much fun just spending the whole day.
Killing people.
No, not really. You were just sort of moving and moving with the sword because you can feel it doing really good things for the muscles. And it's much more interesting than going to a gym and doing that with weights, because that's effectively what you're doing really, but because you're moving with it, it's like, with the weights you do functional exercises, whereas, I mean, one thing that Mark has done is he's got little weights, and he'll do his Tai Chi moves, holding little weights, and I think that's a really good thing. Okay, that's a should have. Right. So we're just waking up the toes and waking up the feet, waking up the extremity. So we're shaking and kicking little kicks. Great. Okay. Let's start with we'll start with the back actually. So we're just going to the side, the front, to the side. That's it, yeah. Nice and slow. So, yeah, I've been noticing when I've been training outside, the starlings are starting to build up again. I don't know if you've ever been to, is it Fendrayton? You know where the bus route is? You can get a bus from the guided bus to all the way to St Ives. But instead of getting off at St Ives, you get off before at the bird reserve. And they used to have quite a few years ago, I don't know if it's now, but a few years ago, these amazing murmurations, starlings.
Nice.
Really good, I used to go. So it's that kind of starting to build up that time of year, so do check it out. But I noticed some in the tree. There was a whole bunch of them in the tree. I was out in the garden. And I was like, oh, that's nice. So we just do lots of these. And then we go in the other direction. So just to help ease out that lower back, because it can get a bit stiff, can't it? You know, especially when once eventually it will start getting colder, I think. So too hot is bad for the back, and so is too cold.
I'm just going to get it.
It's just right, yeah. So I'm softening the knees. I think that's about the same. Let's do a couple more just in case. Always lose count. But if you're doing this at home, just do it for as long as it feels right to, and then change sides and do it as long as it feels right to. And you probably know how long. It doesn't have to be the exact same number. It's about what your body. It's about listening to your body and working out, you know, what you fancy doing. It's more like that. So we'll do the Tai Chi goalkeeping. I guess it's for rugby, they'll probably do that. So they do something a bit like that in rugby, don't they? When they do everything. They do all sorts. It's a lot more vicious than football.
Oh, it's a very rough game.
But they're very
don't
polite.
cry, they don't.
Whinge, do they?
No,
They
they
don't.
don't themselves.
I like that. So you transfer the weight and turn. So one hand's above and one hand below. So I get a nice stretch.
And now to make a cut or something, they tell them what stitch them up and get back on.
They stitch them up and put them back on again, don't they? But they're now having to be much more sensible about headgear and protecting the head, because that's not. There's a whole bunch of them, isn't there, that have got dementia?
Yeah, yes.
And well, so not just in boxing, things like that. And back. Very nice. Okay. let's, yeah, just up and down the shoulders. And then forward and back. We'll do this one. Very good. And then two. So by making sure your joints are warmed up, that actually has good effects on the back and the shoulders anyway. So, yeah, you're being aware of what you're doing at all times and how you're doing, and it's about being very sort of clear about what's happening. Again, the person that's got that in buckets is Mike, the head honcho of the school, because he does all this meditating. He's very clear. It's a nice thing. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Marvellous. And we go in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One. Breathe out. 2. One more. I do like that one. Yeah, it's a really nice one, isn't it? So let's just tune into your hands. So just shake the hands and feel it. I'll just come a bit closer for the. So really, I'll come with. So look what I'm doing with the arms. See, it's all very, very wibbly wobbly, like that. Okay. You can try one arm at a time actually and lean slightly, so you just really, like you're shaking out up and try the other one. So again, you're tuning into what you're noticing, and that takes time, being able to really notice it. Okay, now we'll do the piano. So. There's no cow this week.
No,
Do a
couple pairs to be found together.
Oh, okay, yeah. But it's a little bit chilly, isn't it, in this room? It's the first one. Because normally we have to have both doors open. And then you get all the cow noises. So, hey, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. Up, down. And shake. Circle. 8, circle. 3, 4, 5. 8, roll forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, roll back. Over and under. And shake. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We'll do some super slow ones, so we're just going like this. So, just so we can notice what's happening, I was exploring this over the, looks a bit like Parting the Clouds actually, when you do it that slow, but it's similar. So we've not done polishing the table or the monkey king. Sort that out. 7. And it's a little bit big because we're doing a knee bend thing when you're doing this version, I guess. And then we go in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pen waves its wings. We've not done that one yet. And the other side. Polishing the table. So again, you're just being aware of how you're moving. That's really important. Rather than compared with a lot of other forms of exercise, there's definite real cultivating this observer thing, which happens much easier when you're doing this moving from stillness thing. You've got this sort of sense of inner quietness, whatever's going on. There's this core of peace and calmness and clarity all at the same time. You can really see that when you've got the really good people like Grandmaster Chen Xiaowang, people like that. There's this real sense of peacefulness. It's very strange. Very, very good. So we can cultivate that too. Just breathing, really, very nice. Any questions so far? Oh, this is a good one. You go like that. That's a good one for the lower back. Do have water. And again, you can use a chair or a wall. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's a nice little. It does balance as well as work your as well as work it back. Okay, so before we do the Monkey King, let's do nice things for our knees. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing. So you go 1, let's try it out, 2, 3, oh, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, 4. And then we start backwards. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, 4. Marvellous. And then we massage our knee. Just leave that there. And then massage the other knee. Very good. And then when we do Monkey King takes a seat, it works better. So let's do Monkey King takes a seat. 1, see? It's good, isn't it? 2. The knees feel better just by doing that. It's like magic. It's like a magic button. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, oh, necks. Let's just do the neck and then we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nice and relaxed. 6, 7, 8. Semicircle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right, I'm going to have some water, and then we will have tea as well. And then what we'll do is we'll look at some things. Yeah, let's stop for water. It's good to keep hydrated. And now, how's that been? Feel a bit more warmed up at least. I'll just pause the video so people don't have to watch us drink water. We'll do a little bit of stuff before tea. And then we'll have tea, and then we'll do some more stuff. But the reason why I like doing the Tai Chi weapons is purely, it's mainly for how I feel afterwards in my body, and I can feel it doing really good things. So we also got a thing called a Tai Chi ruler, which I've Tom, that's hopefully making me some sort of. You can get very cheap ones that like this. You can get them for about 16 quid online if you search around. But Tom is going to hand make some, but they'll probably be a bit more. They'll be more like 25, but they'll be handmade, and he can also customise them to if you want a heavy one or a light one, and he can. So they'll be a bit more specialist. It's quite fun. So I'm hoping to do a sword course, possibly here, possibly on a Friday afternoon, or possibly over at Swaffham Pride, but I'm probably here, because it's, but I just like a bigger kitchen, quite frankly, and there'll be a tea break. we'll do a bit of sword, so we'll call it Tai Chi sword and tea. And it will be quite a long, it will be a course, so it will be more like a 2-hour class, but we'll have a stop in the middle, and we'll go very gentle, and it's mainly, so I'll just show, so what I did this is based on what I learned at Birmingham, but then because I've done I've kind of done my own version, so you do 6 downward X's, so this is called a downward X. And I have my other hand up because I've done Filipino cardio, and you're using your body to cut the downward X, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can feel it really, because you've got a weight in your arm, and then you've got this one, and then you come across, and then you come up, you come across, and you come down. So I was practicing that in the garden, and so you can do it with a cut and then down, or you can, and then there's also this one. So you can do that, and I also do it with both arms. So normally when we did this in Birmingham, we just did it one arm. We just did it with the right arm, but because I'm more interested in balance between right and left, I do it, and then the other exercise you do is you just practice actually having the back of the blade in contact with the body, and see what you come up with. You can kind of make things up yourself. And then the thing that I did with Mike, I've got these pointy things in the sword form we do, and it's just great fun to do. You just got to be careful, and obviously don't wear sandals when you wear shoes when you've got a sword, because if you drop it and it hits your toes, it's kind of painful. Although in Malaysia, when he learnt it, when Mark learnt the sword, they were all in flip-flops, and there were scorpions everywhere apparently. It was just like, oh, just move the scorpions out, and you just think, that's not sensible, but you know, it's a different one. So I'll just show you the first bit of the, it starts here, and then like that, and like that. Because I know Burwell was interested, so that's the opening of the sword form that I've done. Step, step, like that, like that. That's the first part of it, and then it chops out. It's very satisfying. I mean, it's really good. So yeah, you have chopping movements, and then you've got these ones, slicing movements, and then you can do a circle. You can do your silk reading with a sword. And because look at this lovely big ceiling we've got, you see. So you just got to be mindful of people around you. So really good, really good. So that's, yeah, if you want to learn. So it'll probably more likely be maybe 6 or 7, between 6 and 8 weeks at some point. I'm not quite sure when, because I've got to get some of these. He can do some cheap, very cheap ones using basically pallet wood.
And be the same, would it?
No, but this is the oak. He's got white oak. So we're gonna. This is red oak. This is red oak, and that's quite heavy.
That is quite heavy.
It's quite heavy. So because I'm mindful of not everyone's got huge, ginormous arms, I said to Tom, you need some small ones, because we've got one of my students is quite very short and slender, so she has a very short, light sword. And it still work. It will still work your muscles. I'll just show. Have a go on it, and then pass it along, and then we'll do some balancing. So it's very good doing weapons. It's very good for works your coordination. it really works your body mechanics, because if you try and use a sword and you're just using your arm, it doesn't work. Whereas if you use a sword and you're using your whole body to move with, so it can, and you can do all your silk weaving with a sword. So it's really fun, and you feel a bit like Zorro, you know.
And I think having that weight makes you feel that you are working.
Yeah, and you really, you know, I only did about a quarter of an hour in the garden yesterday. That's it.
But that was enough.
Yeah, but you can feel it doing really good things for your shoulders, can't you?
Oh,
Watch out for.
I'm sorry, yes.
being attacked.
No, I'm sorry.
Bit more space,
It
Ron.
wasn't actually.
So what you do is you get your body and you turn. That's it. That's it. There you go. Aren't they fun? You could have hours of fun with that, but just if you're doing it for the first time, don't get too enthusiastic and do it for too long, because you get a bit like, oh,
Yeah.
you can really feel it in your arm.
Yeah, well,
So I'm just pacing myself.
I really aren't strong enough for it.
Yeah, I mean that's particularly heavy, so that's why I want Tom to explore with some lighter woods.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a big oak one. And he goes, I could even do you one in ebony or mahogany. I'm like, ooh. So I might get some for me.
It's lovely, isn't
But
it?
it's beautiful, yes. So there's sabre. It's the sabre sword. It's not the. There's the straight sword, the jam, which the aristocracy use.
Yeah.
Which the aristocracy use. That was for your foot soldier. That was for your foot soldiers. So they were very cheap, relatively cheap to make, and much more
did the job.
Yeah.
kind of But at the moment, I don't know how to do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very fun. I mean, I really like you know, with this. And you, so you can. There's a bit in the form where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, stuff like that. It's really good fun. So what we do, I'll do it as a few courses, and for not very many weeks, just because not everybody's interested in it. Let's come up and do a little bit of...
I think that's good, because if you like me, my left hand is weak.
Yeah, it helps strengthen.
Yeah.
It'll be really good, and we do a... Yeah, let's go back to this, just to... Yeah, it'd be good for strengthening your body and the turning and things. It's very good for building up a bit of muscle around here as well.
It makes you more exaggerate the turnings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you have to. Like when you're doing
Yeah.
the sword, if you don't move your body and you just do it with your arm, it doesn't work. So it flows, yeah, and it's very good for you cultivating your body mechanics. You wouldn't do it to go and, I mean, nobody really uses swords these days anyway, but it's more for health and also historical culture. I mean, they're like the Morris teams. There's Morris teams that use swords because that's what they used to historically do. Is it the rackers or something? I don't know. But it's more on those sorts of lines, historical and cultural and.
It's very elegant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you get the really good, you know, the youngsters with, and there's a big one, there's this big stick with a sword on one end and a spike on the other and one down. And I absolutely loved learning about that. It's fantastic. But they're quite, you have to practice them, otherwise you just lose it. So I'm this academic year, I'm going to do my weapons again, just because it's a really good way of keeping fit. But yeah, those of you on YouTube that are watching this afterwards and have pointed out, hang on, that woman's in sandals. Yes, you're right. Don't wear proper footwear so you don't break your toes when you drop it. You often drop it. So for those classes, I'd have proper, you know, trainers on at least, so I don't. So let's just practice transferring our weight. And we're looking at that. Rather than standing on one leg, let's build up balance in a nice, kind of organic, and not too much in a hurry way. So you've got that one, and you're just feeling the weight transfer, feeling weight. So make sure your feet, you can have them out slightly, that's fine. You can have them parallel. I totally want those shoes, they're great. You've got the best shoes. I like the colour, they look really comfortable, they look very lightweight, perfect, yeah, really nice. It's quite hard if you wear big heavy shoes. I mean, there was one time it was so muddy that I was doing the Tai Chi wellies. Gosh, that was hard work, but I did it, you know, wellies. So now what we do is we're going to put our foot forward. So you want to have a big enough base. So it's not a huge step forward, but it's not a tiny step forward. That wouldn't be enough. It needs to be forward enough so that when you're in your front foot and when you're in your back foot, you can really feel the difference. So getting that forward and back. And then also, you want to be on... have a good posture in your upright. That's it. So you want your foot forward. But that's a nice one. It takes a while for these things to kick in, doesn't it? You know, if you compare what you were like when you started and now how you are now. But it takes a while. It's quite challenging sometimes to get your foot forward enough. Especially if we've got some balance things going on.
One amazed is how you have to keep your mind absolutely focused.
You have to keep your mind absolutely focused on it. Yeah, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's why when they did the science on Tai Chi, they did that show, you know, the brain function. It really improves your cognitive brain function. So we just change. So before you put the foot forward, get your parallel correct, your Wu Chi stance correct, and then that was it. Heel toe, then press the foot. So it's like we're digging. So they plant and then dig. That's what they say. Which seems that's what plant then dig. And I've been trying to work that out. We talked about it last Wednesday. So you plant the foot and then you dig the foot in a bit. I think that's what, because it's something that corrals me, because if you're a gardener, you dig first and then you plant. And that really messed with my brain. But then I thought about it, and you plant your foot in the correct place, then you dig it in a bit, then that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, don't think you go, so you go forward and back. So you can really feel that. Now if you're feeling a little bit wibbly wobbly on this, you might want to experiment by having the feet slightly wide apart, because then it's easier to balance on a nice wide base than in a narrow base, too hard. So you want to really, this is why it takes a while to get things in the right spots. And also the right spots might be different depending on what day of the week or how you're feeling, or it's quite...
You have to experiment.
You have to experiment, exactly. It's experimental. It's experimental. How am I going to get this to work? You try stuff out, and most of the time it doesn't work at all. But that's okay, because we're calm and we're relaxed, and we just try something else. So it's very good. It's very good. So that's the start into balance. And then once you've done that, let's just look at the basics that we're in. And we're definitely... Oh gosh, we're late for tea. Oops. Dreadful women. You know, if we formed a union, I'd have...
Maybe the sacked you.
I'd have been sacked. You know. It says Tai Chi and tea. We've got to get our tea. And then someone went, oh, G and tea. I went, no, Tai Chi and tea.
I love that, don't you?
I mean, that would Tai Chi and G and T, I think, I don't know.
It's a bit much.
Bit much. So this works the balance just by doing this, because you're moving your weight from side to side. So you're getting better awareness of the body and how it moves and how it feels to be on one foot and how it feels to be on the other. So when you're out there on the street, you can feel your feet better.
I was going to say my balance is 100% there.
What about you, Rodney? Do you feel that your balance is, I know your things got changed, which messed things up a bit, but in general,
Oh, yeah.
I'd say that your balance is better than when you were, I don't know how long
I
you've been
don't know,
planning to
but
take.
it's certainly not getting worse, you know.
Yeah, because how long have you been doing Tai Chi? Is it about 15 years or
Oh, no.
5, 10? I lose
5
track.
or 6.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
So normally what happens when I did my training in teaching people over the age of 50, they're saying that there's a decline in balance the older you get. So in theory, your balance should have got much, much worse at the age you are.
I'm on tablets now,
Yeah,
which they told me
makes your balance
might
worse.
make my balance worse.
Well, wait to see if it happens.
No, it's not. I've been
I
on
think you're all right.
one week and I'm...
You seem okay so far. So maybe it will kick in later, but
Well, I noticed while we had 2 years when we couldn't do any,
yeah,
that my balance got worse.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas if you go
Because
to
I've been coming for
classes,
so many years, haven't I?
yeah, and
And then 2 years without doing
that's right,
it.
it is.
Well, it was more than that.
2 years without, well, it was 2 and a bit because of all the
Yeah.
stupid got that. So we're now trying both hands together just for fun.
Mine's because I had that labyrinth, your friends come in.
Oh, the labyrinthitis. Oh, yeah, but that's
And
no amount of Tai Chi is going to fix. You know, it might help relax a
Oh,
bit.
yeah, but it's good my balance a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but it does do things by physically doing it. It improves your balance already just by being here. So, and then if you practice at home, it's even better. And then, like what you said, 2 years off, your balance is. It doesn't take. I mean, I notice it. If I've not done as much Tai Chi as normal for a couple of weeks, my body feels really ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm dropping things, I'm clumsy, oh, what's going on? Whereas if I do the Tai Chi, it just works. And I feel better and I'm nicer to be with. I'm less
It gives
grumpy.
you confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is confidence.
Yes. Okay. Right, it's definitely tea time. We're going to stop for tea. Yeah. Let's make a start. So we've had our tea break.
We've lost Mary.
She's probably going to
She went to the loo.
Fine.
She went to the loo.
Sorry?
She went to the loo.
Okay.
The
So
real
let's go
thing.
back to this one. So you transfer the weight, you turn the waist, you transfer the weight, you turn the waist. Hi.
Lost you, Mary.
That's all right, don't tell us. So let's try it with one arm again. Let's try it with one arm. So you were fine with one arm. I know, it's fine. Don't worry about it, just relax. Just relax. That's it, yeah, you got it with one arm. And then try it with the other arm. Try it with the other arm. That's it. So you can do each half. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this time, as you do this one, sneak the other hand in underneath. Then you turn, transfer the weight, then turn, transfer the weight. This is very tricky. Yeah. So transfer the weight like this. So we start like this, and we go across, 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 across. Then turn the waist, and you swap the arms round. Then you go across, 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 across. Turn the weight, turn the waist. There you go. You got it all along. Didn't need to worry at all. It's amazing when your brain runs like that. It's just the best thing to do is just stop relax a bit, and then if it comes back, it comes back. If not, don't worry about it. It's fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the weight. Actually, we'll put the arms down. We're going to transfer the weight and we're going to go to cat stance. We're going to go heel, toe, push down a bit, then transfer the weight. So when you step out, don't step out too far actually, because that's easier. If you just do a short side step, short side step, then that's, if you want to do a big side step, you have to really sink down, then you can do a big one, but that's a lot of effort, so just do a short one. Feel the foot, then you transfer the weight. Oh, that nightingale's back. So, and then you can do it with one arm. And if you want, you can try. So this is another way of really working the balance. Just looking at, that's it. Or just try it with one arm, then that's easier. It's less strain on the brain, you see, because by putting the other arm in, you're really challenging you're using lots of bits of your brain at the same time, you see. So by doing it both hands, marvellous, okay. Yeah, let's, yeah, we'll do this one. This is like a different version, so you come forward, come out. So it's quite big. You transfer the weight. Anything that transfers weight is very good for doing balance. We won't spend too much money on it, otherwise I just want to make sure you get your money's worth. So be nice, relaxed. Okay, and the other side. So it's quite big. So you feel a stretch along here, and then you release the stretch. And then for fun, you do both. So when I did this with Erica Scoop, she called this parting the horse's mane. And I've done other versions of it that look completely different, but nice having a nice together, isn't it? It's lovely. So, just keep breathing. And wiggle. Beautiful. So we'll carry along. I think the balance theme is probably a good thing to just purely work on yeah. So we just go back to a very gentle bounce and rub the lower back. So we've washed up, we've put everything away, so that's good. And then breathe in, breathe out. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. That's it, so we just breathe in, very good. And then we'll look super young, so rub the hands together. Polishing the face. together. Give the lower back a rub. Oh, marvellous. And then embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Right hand, left hand over the top, feet together, and back. Right, so we'll carry on with balance. Well done. Very good. And yeah, we'll just slowly, and then at some point come back to learning the form. But let's get some fundamentals.
Right.
Great. Thanks for watching. Bye.